I'm still, after all the fights you've had, in awe of the fact that you do what you do. It's mind-blowing to me.
Thank you, man. Yeah. I mean, it's not that hard to get your beat. But it was a great experience. Like, I learned a lot in there. I can't really talk.
When this fight was first announced, you had said something to the effect of this would end Jake Paul's career. After what you saw tonight, do you think that Jake should continue to box, or what do you think the future holds for him?
Yeah, no, I really take my hat off. So, I mean, we have to see if it is a broken jaw. Those injuries are very difficult to come back from. But as AJ said, like that last shot would have knocked out a lot of heavyweights.
Jake Paul reportedly announced his retirement from boxing after suffering a devastating sixth-round knockout loss to former heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua in Miami. The fight left Paul with a double broken jaw that required surgery. Entering the bout as a crossover star hoping to legitimize his boxing career, Paul instead faced the brutal reality of elite heavyweight power when Joshua's right hand ended the contest and raised serious questions about his future.
I won 2 rounds for sure, and then he won 2, and then I got dropped. But yeah, I was doing good. I just think my cardio, just the mental pressure of the big guy and sparring the big people is different than the 10-ounce gloves. So I was feeling his power a lot more. But it was a great experience. Like, I learned a lot in there. I can't really
Are you in pain?
Yeah, but
Does it hurt?
It's not from like talking.
Talk to me about what your jaw feels like, because you got
It's like a baseball in there.
two
then
plates?
It just feels like
4 titanium plates.
4 titanium plates. How many do you have?
Just 1.
8 screws. 8 screws.
Wait. All right, I got plate in my head. Titanium.
Following the knockout, Jake Paul has allegedly admitted he is exhausted from taking heavy punishment and is now seriously considering retirement. After being dropped multiple times and suffering a double broken jaw, speculation around his future intensified. Facing one of boxing's most accomplished heavyweights proved to be a harsh and painful turning point.
Retiring from boxing, I'm getting hit in the fucking face every single day while I could be playing soccer in Saudi. I'm friends with the Saudis / football.
Back in the day?
I was on the A team in 7th grade. I have a really good kick. I can run fast, and I'll knock out everyone that with us. Please give me $1 billion.
Eddie Hearn stood by his earlier prediction but spoke with a somber tone after the fight. He explained that injuries like a broken jaw aren't just painful, but mentally and physically difficult to recover from. Time away from sparring, fear of range injury, and lost rhythm can permanently change a fighter's career. While praising Jake's toughness, Hearn stressed that boxing is unforgiving and moments like this often force fighters to rethink the risks.
I follow it too, because when this fight was first announced, you had said something to the effect of this would end Jake Paul's career. After what you saw tonight, do you think that Jake should continue to box, or what do you think the future holds for him?
Yeah, no, I really take my hat off. So, I mean, we have to see if it is a broken jaw. Those injuries are very difficult to come back from. But as AJ said, like that last shot would have knocked out a lot of heavyweights. And I know he went down heavy, but, you know, he was conscious on the floor. And I thought his game plan, although obviously very negative early on, which it had to be, was smart at times. And there were times where he held his feet and let his hands go. You know, it was a very one-sided fight. It was always going to be a one-sided fight. But you can't give him anything but credit and respect. There's a lot of negative people out there. There's a lot of people who want to criticise people. They're not doing what Jake Paul's done. He just went in with Anthony Joshua and gave it his best shot. Took a lot of punishment and ended the fight eventually.
Joe Rogan delivered a serious warning following Jake Paul's knockout and double jaw fracture. He urged Paul to consider the long-term consequences of continuing in boxing, especially after absorbing heavy shots from a seasoned heavyweight like Joshua. Rogan described the knockout punch as carrying the impact of multiple blows at once, emphasizing how quickly internal damage can accumulate. His message was clear: repeated punishment at this level comes with a price that may not be worth paying.
That guy did great for someone who's been boxing for like less than a decade. He has had no real professional opponents other than Tommy Fury that were legitimate world-class boxers.
I don't even remember what happened in the Tommy.
He lost a close decision, but it was a good fight. It was a good fight, though. He's a good boxer. If he wasn't a YouTuber, people would be way more impressed with him.
Yeah.
The problem is he was like a famous kid, and then no one took him seriously.
Yeah.
But
and then he started too with like more spectacle-ish fights. People were like, "Oh, this is you." He fought, Nate Robinson, like a basketball player.
But the thing is, he knocked Nate Robinson
He knocked him the fuck out.
And
yeah.
it's the way he did it that I was trying to tell people. I'm like, no.
Jake Paul has also sparked controversy after allegedly suggesting he may openly use steroids to silence long-standing accusations of past PED use. Critics called the claim reckless, while supporters argue he was responding to years of speculation about his physique. With strict anti-doping rules in boxing, many observers remain skeptical, noting the statement remains unverified and adds further instability to an already turbulent moment in his career.
Jake said that I snort that I'm a cokehead. My rebuttal to that was, I'll tell you what, you can test me randomly for the next 5 years for if I can test you randomly for performance-enhancing the next 2 years. And I never got a response on that.
This is why Jake Paul is on PEDs. Within this past year, Jake Paul has literally hit a second puberty and aged like 10 years. Furthermore, he has acne and his hairline is receding like crazy. And people like Jake Paul are going to the best skin doctors in the world and probably are taking hair loss products that aren't even approved for the rest of us. Now, I'm not saying that Jake Paul necessarily took a steroid to make him look bigger, but he's definitely taking something that allows him to recover faster. That way he's able to train more.
UFC legend Anderson Silva came to Jake Paul's defense, saying fans should respect him for stepping into the ring with someone as dangerous as Anthony Joshua. Silva noted that Paul has proven he's willing to face real challenges rather than padded opponents. Regardless of the outcome, Silva believes fighting a former heavyweight champion deserves acknowledgement.
Respect him. I don't say that only because I'm fight here in a company, but it's because Jake, the people need to respect Jake, I mean, every single fight go inside the ring, everybody need respect.
Anthony Joshua brutally broke Jake Paul's jaw in the 6th round with a powerful right hand that led to a knockdown and eventual knockout. The punch fractured Paul's jaw in 2 places, requiring surgery where titanium plates were installed and several teeth were removed. Paul later confirmed the surgery was successful and that he would be limited to a liquid diet during recovery.
Never give a monkeys about what anyone says, because they sit at home, they're full of negativity. It's like the people that are negative towards someone like Jake Paul. Look at what he's done with his life. Do you know what I mean? So yes, it took AJ a couple of rounds to get hold of him, and then he knocked him spark out and broke his jaw. It was a frustrating 2-3 rounds maybe, because Jake was moving so much, holding, but did well, I thought. I mean, I was impressed with him. I mean, I was more impressed with his toughness, because I think that last shot would have knocked out most heavyweights. I mean, you've got to respect him, because he did what many people wouldn't do, which was get in the ring with him. And, he didn't, I know he run and hold, but he also let his hands go at times. And he was in the firing line, and, we got 6 good rounds in the end of actual work.
You see it in the end?
Yeah, I actually think it's a positive, because, we could have gone in there and got it all over with 45 seconds. He's done an 8-week camp, and now he's done 6 rounds. He's got something to go back and work on with the team, and onwards.
The violent knockout put an end to online claims that the fight was staged or scripted. Promoter Eddie Hearn firmly rejected those accusations, stressing the bout was a sanctioned professional contest regulated by boxing authorities. He pointed to Paul's genuine injuries, including the double jaw fracture, as proof that nothing about the fight was fake.
Damn, son. Fuck me. How did Jake Paul actually remain conscious after that? And yeah, he got a broken jaw in 2 different places. And when they zoomed in on his mouth inside after the fight, a row of his teeth had just been dislodged into a whole nother fucking section of his mouth. Whatever you think of Jake Paul, surely that now puts an end to the fixed fight narrative. Like, his mouth is in bits. This was not a fixed fight. No matter how much you dislike it, it was what it was. So how did he do? Well, on the one hand, Jake fucking Paul, the YouTube guy who started by fighting Deji, getting in a ring with AJ is just impressive to start off with. He made it 6 rounds, and when he was getting hurt, he kept getting up, and he showed heart. It probably would have been easy to stay down and not get your teeth shoved into your fucking back of your head. And a lot of people are saying, look, he lasted longer than Francis Ngannou, so that's something. But why did he last longer than Francis Ngannou? Obviously, I think we all know why. Francis Ngannou came into the ring with the belief he could win. He was trying to win from the first bell. well, Jake Paul was more trying to survive and hope that like a miracle happens in the fight sometime. And when you've got those completely different states of mind, it delivers completely different results, right? Francis is right there in front of you. He's trying to hurt you. He's committing. He's leaving openings because he's committing. The other guy is halfway across the fucking ring. And when one guy isn't wanting to engage, it's really hard to pin them down and hurt them because they're not basically contributing to the sport. You know, we're supposed to be fighting each other, not, you know, you running away from me and me having to run after you. And we've seen this before in other boxing matches. It just makes it a very difficult night for the guy who's trying to be the aggressor, especially when you've got a ring that big and the guy who you're...
Some fans have compared Jake Paul's performance to Francis Ngannou's bout with Joshua, noting that Paul lasted 6 rounds while Ngannou was stopped in 2. Social media reactions argued that Paul showed greater durability in that specific matchup. While controversial, these comparisons highlight that Paul survived longer despite eventually being knocked out and severely injured.
Reason why Jake Paul lasted longer than Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou came to fight. That's it. It was like Jake was stuck in 2020 the way he stayed 2 meters away from Joshua at all times. Jake was nowhere near Joshua's range, nowhere near. Francis was very near. He came to box him. Jake just came in there to survive. That's all it was. He just wanted to see the end bell. He maybe land a lucky overhand right, which he did land a couple. Eventually, when the distance was closed, due to Jake not running, due to him being tired, boom, the knockout came. That's all it was. I don't want to hear people say, oh, he did better than Francis, because he didn't, because Francis was in boxing range, and Jake might as well have been in a...
Alexander Usyk's manager Sergey Lapin praised Joshua's performance as a strong comeback after time away from the ring. He called the fight a solid step forward and suggested future matchups with top heavyweights like Tyson Fury. Lapin also acknowledged Jake Paul's heart, noting he repeatedly got up despite facing overwhelming power, and hinted at potential future bouts involving Joshua and Usyk's camp.